Hi, good day, everyone. We are back to our weekly International Prop Chat episode 20. I'm sorry, last week we have some technical problems, so we are unable to proceed this talk. So we make it today. So I hope you'll stay with us. My name is Angela Chen.
Hi, my name is Mandy. Welcome to our episode 20. So today we're going to talk about the PERTH. Okay, one of the projects located in PERTH CBD. Sorry, give me a minute. All right, so for those that would just join in, thanks for joining us again. Okay. Yeah, good evening, everybody. Sorry. Okay, like I mentioned, today's topics we are talking about become a part of a vibrant PERTH hub. And recently, I actually read an article about the properties research done in the whole of Australia. In fact, we are talking about the sales activity in the Perth metro regions have actually increased as of July. And according to Viva report, actually it's up to 68% compared to the April across the both drillings and land sales. And on top of that, the vacancy rates as at July 2020 is as low as 1.3%. In fact, some of the area, I would say that it's actually below 1%. If you really compare Melbourne and Sydney, I would say is that the vacancy rate is above 3% and Perth is just only around 1.3%. So this is actually amazing results. Well done, Perth.
Yes, I see that land sales for July saw a 121% increase, while the house sales were up 58%, and apartment, or you can call it unit sales, were up 51%. Of course, these are all based on the CoreLogic charts at June 2020. So you can say that it's just a month ago, but it is very accurate, okay? And the average median price for the house is about 445,000, while the unit is about 347,500 Aussie, okay?
Wow, that's actually a very attractive price and entry level as you really compare to Melbourne and Sydney. In fact, the increase have not surprised to me as well, as I know that Western Australia is actually very rich in their natural resources. In fact, in terms of the export, it contributes more than 50% of the entire Australia. And just give some example, we are talking about gas and petrol, lithium, gold, and iron ore. And in fact, iron ore, we are talking about USD $100 a ton, which is like, it's a sky-high record for the past few years. And right now, I think approximately, I remember I read the articles, approximately about 170 million tons left in the earth, which is in Western Australia. So with that, it making them the third of the world supplies.
Yeah, well, that is right. Perth market is always holding strong and providing fantastic opportunities for new home buyers. Comparative to other capital cities in Australia, Perth remains as affordable and stable options for those looking to enter the market right now.
Yep, right now you are right. Okay, especially investors is looking to buy properties for their children in terms of the future educations as well as investment, I would say. Perth is actually one of the right choice because in terms of the time difference, there's no difference for the time zone, and weather is actually super nice. Unlike Melbourne, so which is like 4 seasons a day, but whereas in Perth it's actually quite moderate. Okay, so winter also not that cold. Okay, I would say that probably I would below 20 or above 10 Celsius. So it's just nice, not too cold. And the best part is the traveling is only, if it's talking about from Malaysia, it's only like 5.5 hours only. So that is actually a short distance. and you probably could see your children by taking a nap, then you can reach Perth.
Absolutely. And right now, Western Australia is one of the safest places among the rest of the states in Australia.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, in terms of the COVID-19, the pandemic. So
Yes.
as compared to so many cities, I think Perth is actually one of the safest cities to live in.
That's right. And furthermore, with the rebate stamp duty of 75% of the savings, Mandy, can you tell us and elaborate on these points to the audience on the 75% savings? What is that? What is the 75% all about?
Okay, in fact, right now only happen in Perth, okay, not the rest of the city in Australia. The government has actually encouraged the property market, so therefore they come up with this 75% stamp duty rebate. So for owner, occupied or investor who wants to enter into properties under pre-constructions, so they can actually enjoy the 75% rebate at the cap of maximum 50,000. So if you were to buy any properties that is during constructions, so therefore the cap is on 25,000 AUD. This is just talking about for foreigner. Of course, if you are the locals, Australians, so they have more like incentive like government grant, the state grant of 10,000 for the first home buyers, as well as the federal grant 24,000 for those who want to build their first home as well. So there are lots more incentive for the local, definitely. But just for foreigner sake, in terms of this 75% rebate is actually quite attractive. It's in fact a huge saving, I would say. And yeah, and you can actually enjoy multiple rebates if you were to buy like a few transactions under the different developments or same developments with the same name also.
Wow. Okay, so let me just recap and just ask it. So you are talking about no cap on the purchase price,
yep,
or value of the units or apartment, right?
Yep. You can actually buy any type of the properties in Australia. Even though for foreigner also, you can buy both in house and land or in apartments.
Oh, that's great.
And of course, we are talking about over here recently with the lowest cash rate for the past 12-year record, I would say. In fact, right now, as at August, the cash rate is 0.25%. So that made the overall interest rate is relatively low. And we are talking about as low as below 3%. Or around 4%. So depends on what type of mortgage you're looking at, whether it's fixed or variable. So therefore, it really encourages lots of locals to buy into their first home. And plus all the incentive I just mentioned that governments encourage all the first home buyers to invest in the property. So therefore, it's really, really attractive. And of course, today, I think we're going to share one very interesting projects located right in the Perth CBD. So a lot of Malaysians especially, they love to invest in CBD. So perhaps this is one of the projects that you could think of, and the name is PERTH HUB.
Wow, okay. PERTH HUB is certainly the first-class facility sitting on the first-class locations right on top of the CityLink CBD. I mean, residents will be connecting to every level when you talk about work, entertainments, dining, theater, movies, pub, universities, and beaches. I mean, all of these are at the easy reach. So what else, this kind of opportunity, I mean, having PERTH HUB right at the city range.
Okay, for those that will just join in, so I would like to say hello to them. Okay, thanks for joining us. Our usual weekly international prop chat. So today is episode 20. So we are talking about one of the very exciting projects located right in the city of Perth CBD. For those who like our program, so remember, click on the button like and love, give us lots of love, and go to our international Facebook page and like our page as well. Or you can actually invite your friends to join us. If you miss the beginning or you miss a certain part, you can actually replay it by watching the YouTube at IQI International Sales, or you can actually go to our Facebook International Sales page to watch the replay again, okay? All right, yeah, just now we mentioned about everything is within the reach. So we are talking about the whole entire area is actually transformed into a very exciting entertainment cuisine, and whereby there's lots of retail, restaurant, cafes, bars, arts, and cultural attractions, and not forgetting a world-class stadium, all within a walking distance. How amazing it is. Yeah. And besides, we're also talking about the underground passport, and as well as the Perth Central train stations, which is right connected with the Perth Hub, which I would say around 5 minutes walking distance. Yep. And with that, it actually can reach out to the whole of Perth, including university, shopping centers, iconic beaches, and a future direct link to Perth International Airport.
Yeah, and then when you talk about Perth, it's actually comprising of 314 units. I mean, to me, it's pretty low density.
Yep.
I mean, thinking about the number 300 plus only, so it's considered to me it's a pretty good number. And it comes with 1, 2, and 3 beds room apartment, 30 stories only to make one of the Perth tallest residence building. It was stands proudly just next to the 405 stars Dorset Hotels, which has about 263 rooms. Isn't that a great location? And with the great beauties, you can get 1 bedrooms for around 388 Aussie, and 2 bedroom maybe around 600,000. And then guests and residents amenities, including the lobby bars, meeting space, spas facilities, and direct connections to the underground Perth Central Station and passport, like you just mentioned.
Yeah, look at my background, the profile pictures. In fact, this is where the location is. You can see that, in fact, not many high-rise that actually are right at the center of the business district. And on top of that, you have a very beautiful river view. So it's really amazing. And of course, you compare to a city like Singapore's or even Malaysia, KLCC, or you're just talking about Sydney or Melbourne, when you go to these central business district, you can see lots of high-rise buildings that is blocking your view. But in fact, over here, you can see that it's actually pretty low density, like you said, only 300 over units. And this is, again, one of the best spot for investments. Like I said, not many new developments in the right at the Perth CBD. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, to me, it's like staying in the city, and yet you don't feel the congested and too many high-rise or commercial blocking your view. I mean, like when we were in Melbourne, or for that matter in Sydney, there was so, of course, the tall one is really tall one. You can actually getting about 1,000 over units, But now we are talking about something just only 30 stories, and that is already considered one of the tallest, building in the CBD. So this is a very, I think it's a really very good, iconic projects there.
Yep, and especially we are talking about Asians, especially Asians, they love to invest in the CBD area. So like I said, they also love to stay in the CBD, especially if you're tourists, okay? Definitely the first choice of the apartments or hotels, you will actually choose right in the center of CBD. Nevertheless, we are talking about this project is actually built by Far East Consortium, one of the very well-known developer in Australia as well as in international. And they have a good reputations, and they have built quite a number of the projects across the whole Australia. Name a few that we can probably talk about. The most iconic and project, including the Queen's Wharf Brisbane, the Star Residence at Gold Coast, Westside Place in Melbourne, and the Star Residence at Sydney. not forgetting the tower at Elizabeth Quay, Perth. That is one of
It's
the
beautiful.
one of the most luxury projects right at the center of Perth, Elizabeth Quay. So it's amazing. Yeah.
But of course, together with this Cote Parker Architects is one of the Australian leading urban designs, architecture and interior design firm. They are not just operating in Perth, they also have it in Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne for over 25 years experience. I mean, the design, I would say that it's very unique. Each apartment will enjoy the flow from ceiling to window, you know, plentiful of sunlight. I mean, in the unit with the most beautiful view you can see across the North Bridge and the Perth Arena, and of course, some of the direction you can actually see Perth CBD as well.
That's amazing. Okay, and I think you do enjoy some view of the Swan River and Kings Park too.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and I think if you were to go up to the facility level, we are talking about at level 7. So you can actually overlooking at the arena and especially the pool. We have some pictures that will show you that the pool is actually overlooking at the arena, and you have a lounge, private dining room, gym, yoga, Pilates, pavilion, a herbs garden as well. Okay.
Wow. Okay. So a place that you stay in an apartment, but yet you can feel like there is some garden stay, the herbs garden,
So imagine that during the lockdown period again. So at least you have more room to move around rather than just on your apartment alone.
All right. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So let's us play a video of PERTH HUB, then you can see how beautiful of this project. All right. So for those who just joined in, or if you have any questions, feel free to comment in the chat box. We will actually get back to you on that. Meanwhile, stay still and enjoy the video. Isn't it beautiful?
Yes, absolutely. You can see that, remember, just now you mentioned about the pool facing the Perth Arena. So we are talking about, it's actually opposite PERTH HUB will be the Perth Arena, which is actually, for people who wants to know much clearer, it's actually located on the west. This arena can hold up to maximum about 15,000 spectators, like the World Tennis event, National Basketball Leagues, as well as some music and even rocks concert. And by the way, Mandy, do you know that Celine Dion actually performed at this arena for the first time as part of the Celine Dion Live 2018?
So imagine you were to buy a unit in this apartment, so you can literally walk across the street and go to the concert and come back without stuck in the traffic, or actually take a train or whatsoever to get yourself crowded with lots of crowd. Yeah, that is actually a big plus, and fantastic locations for anyone who enjoy concerts. Okay, and on top of that, it's also very near North Bridge, right? It's just across the road is North Bridge, right?
Yes, yes. And well, for those people who like to do some shopping, just 4 to 6 minutes by foot to one of the Watertown brand outlet center. And not to forget the Yagan Square. And Yagan Square is the showcase of this Western Australia in the heart of CBD, a place that you can recognize and celebrate the state's heritage, Perth New Hearts, and a place to read and eat and shop and play, you know. And of course, to the east side is the King Square Cuisine, which they have a lot of corporate headquarters, office, Wellington Gardens, urban parks, and laneway and of course restaurants, cafes, and bars. You know, further down along the Peloton Avenue, there is this called the transport hubs, which is the Perth Bus Sports and the Perth Central train stations is actually there also, which is just between the Yagan Square.
Yeah, I still remember during the last trip we were there having breakfast at the Yagan Square, right?
Yes, yes.
All right. So what about the North View? Since you mentioned North, since you mentioned about South, East, and
no, I mentioned about the West. I mentioned, yes.
What about
North? North is actually there's a place called Milligan Steps. It's actually a vibrant pedestrians, you know. It's only a Spanish Steps Plaza, which is connect Perth cities over the railway and the bus lanes to the vibrant entertainment districts of Northbridge. And again, many choices of restaurants, cafes, and bars. And adjacent to this is the, again, I say earlier, 4.5 stars Dorset Hotel, which is also being developed by the Far East Consortium. So you're talking about this project is actually simultaneously built together with this Dorset Hotel. So again, you can feel that is the whole development is really big, and the whole development actually progressed together, you know. Well, okay, come back to the south. South side will be the Wellington Street. This is the place where there's three lines of boulevards running west-east to the the free city look bus stops and the dedicated cycle path. You know, in Perth, many people love to cycle.
Yep.
That is one thing that the government is actually encouraging most people to do some cycling there, okay? I mean, every places, okay? Beyond is the Perth of the CBD area districts. There will be buses for every 5 minutes for a student who wants to go to university. So you can see that how convenient if you want to go something. It's just a place that you can go anywhere. It's just a place that connects super connectivity to anywhere. You just name it, you can just go it, you know, like train and buses, you know. So I basically love this place.
Yeah, in fact, you are talking about each apartments, they actually offer one car bay, right? At least, right?
Yeah.
So imagine you can actually park your car in the apartments, just walk to the train stations or walk to the bus stop and actually hop on to the city or to the rest of the Perth as well. So it's amazing locations. It's very, very convenient. And on top of that, there will be no better time than now, whereby you can actually take advantage of the stamp duty saving and of course the softer market conditions. And this is the best time for you to get in. And after all, we are talking about, it's pretty affordable, the pricing, actually below 400,000, you can buy a unit in CBD. If you would compare to Melbourne, Sydney, you probably no way. You probably
can't even get a car park. Okay?
Yeah, you can't even get that kind of price. Just to recap a bit, in Sydney, if you want to buy anything one bedder in the city, we're talking about easily about 700,000 AUD onwards. And if it's in Melbourne, we are talking about easily at least 500,000 and above. So here we are talking about below 400,000. So it's really, really affordable. And on top of that, like I mentioned just now, not many new developments in the CBD. So again, this is one of the potential growth when you come to investment. And very strong rental yield, I would say, because like you see from the my background, in fact, not many apartments projects is actually in Perth CBD as to compare to Melbourne side, all right? So in this case, that in terms of the rental yield, I would say that it's actually very positive. And in terms of the capital growth, I would say that that is the huge potentials for that as well. So, but by the way, when is the completion date?
Yeah, I've seen somebody ask about it also. So it's just coincidentally, we are going to talk about that as well.
Yeah.
So construction may start in August or even September at this particular time. You know? So the completion is going to be around mid or end of year 2021. Okay, so and what about the some people ask about what about the rebates and the cash for cash buyers. So again, Mandy, can you tell us what are the incentives that PERTH HUB is offering?
In fact, probably this is the best time to actually go in because they haven't actually started the constructions. Remember, I told you just now the stamp duty saving, the 75% that capped at the maximum 50,000. So because they haven't started the construction, so therefore you can actually enjoy the maximum rebate. So this is one. And on top of that, it's like you just need to pay the 10% to secure your units and pay nothing. Wait until completion. So it's actually a very easy investment plan. 10% now, pay nothing, 90% upon completion. So at the end of the completions, if you decided that you want to actually get a mortgage, you can actually apply a mortgage. Otherwise, you can actually settle in cash if you want, all right? And developers are giving a very attractive incentive, I would say. One bidder right now, developer is actually offering 5,000 rebate at settlement. If you were to purchase 2-bed or 3-bed, developer are actually giving 10,000 rebate at the settlement. It's actually quite a lot. And on top of that, I think this is probably one of the favorite that investor would love to hear, that is the rental guarantee. So over here, we are talking about 5% rental guarantee for 2 years. So be it pandemic and non-pandemic, okay, it doesn't impact anything because the construction period has not started. And after all, it took about 2 to 3 years to complete. And on top of that, developers are giving 2 years of the rental market. So no matter how soft the market is, at least you have 2 years rental guarantee to cover up all your investment. And besides, during this period, developers are giving free blinds and FRB application fee worth 5,800.
For those people who doesn't know what is FIRB, is for any foreigner who wants to buy in Australia, they have to apply for this FIRB, which is the Foreign Investment Review Board. You have to pay around 5,008, but it's actually increasing almost every. I would say the previous time was no FIRB, and then after that they have come to 5,005, and then 6, and then 5,007, and now it's already 8. So for this development, you don't have to pay at all.
Yep.
So in other words, just now Mandy did mention 10% upon nothing after 90% of completions, okay? But for normal projects, you actually have to pay FIRB, which is the 5,008, and plus the 10%, and of course a little bit of the half of the legal fees. But in this case, the FIRB is already blanketed up, so you don't have to pay, pay at all. So very, very, very good choice,
Yeah, but one
So,
thing you need to take note is for the stamp duty rebates, right? You still have to pay the full stamp duty, but
yeah.
then after completions, when you settle the entire amounts, then within a year you can actually apply from the government to get the rebate. So this one you need to take note. So it's not straight away offset from your purchase price.
So again, like I say, PERTH HUB is actually a really, really good opportunity for your food buyers. I mean, professionals working in CBD. Imagine they just stay in the CBD, which is quite close, and then even you are talking about bus ports or train station is just within the walking distance. So again, it is also very good for the foreign investor to come in. I mean, buying into a whole new lifestyle cuisine that attracts residents as well as benefit the investors. I think this is a super, I won't say even good, I say super connectivities and safe. I mean, you're talking about direct access to public transports with the main bus ports and train station part of the cuisine. I mean, usually most of the time when people say that if you live somewhere in the area that is, they still have a public transport, but then you have to go to certain places. Some of the transport may need you to go to the CBD before you get some interchange to somewhere else. You know? But in this case, you don't even have to worry about it. You can get direct access to this public transport.
Yeah,
that's how much I like about it.
And just to give an example, if those that who's probably more familiar in Melbourne than Perth, okay, I would say that over here is like near the Victoria markets, whereby you because quite a number of the residential apartments that around the surrounded in Victoria markets is actually very popular amongst the Asian investors. I would say that this location is similar like what we have in Victoria market. So like you say, in terms of price, it's not very expensive. I would say it's an affordable entry price. You want to buy anything into CBD, okay, whether be it in Melbourne, Brisbane, or Sydney, you can actually invest some projects like this in Perth as well, which actually give you the similar capital growth and the rental yield, but the price is much lower.
And talking about those people who love CBD, you're talking about 314 units. Hello, 314 units only, okay? You're not talking about 1,000 over units, you know,
yep.
Where you have a competition among not just one developer, it has to plenty projects around you. But in this case, this is only 314, okay?
Yeah.
And this is a beautiful, iconic places where you can consider this is one of the tallest in the CBD. I think it is, I mean, with the great builder, I mean, with the developer, Far East Consortiums, I mean, they're talking about qualities, you know, not just quantity, quality. The quality is really good, you know. So, yeah. And yes, Mandy, they do, some of the audience ask whether is it fully furnished?
Okay, in Australia, if you were to actually buy for the long-term rental, you probably don't have to furnish it. It's actually partly furnished, okay? I would say fully fitted, okay, but it's not fully finished. So if you were to do Airbnb, of course, you need to furnish out the units. Otherwise, if you were to lease out for mid to long term, you probably don't need to furnish it because most of the time tenants will have their own furniture. So that is actually easier for investors who actually invest in Australia. Any more questions? All right, so my personal preference, I like this project a lot since the beginning until now. Okay, I still think that this is actually one of the best choice if you want to buy anything that in the CBD. Of course, you are talking about you want to buy those closer to university, like Curtin University, that is actually another suburb, but not in this area. But those who love city living, this is definitely one of it that you can consider.
Mandy, that I don't agree, but in this case, You can actually travel there, because since there's a passport there and the train station there. I mean, for people who intend to buy for their children, and then next time they worry about anything, then buy the one that near to the CBD, okay? Then life isn't that boring for them. I mean, they keep on thinking that life is boring because it's not close to this and not close to that. Okay, what else that you cannot offer that you are staying in CBD? Okay, you have all kind of restaurants that you want. Even after your kids finish your studies, you know, they may think of working there. They still have a place to stay, or even at the end of the day, they left Perth. The CBD unit is still a very good rental yield. Like you
Especially
just
for
mentioned.
tourists, yeah.
Yes. So, you know, and it's very, and it's close to a 4.5, 5 stars hotel. This is, I basically think that even there's a live concert there, you're just walking distance there. You dress to queue and you just walk over there. You don't have to take a train. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, we love to dress up. So this is one of the places that you can just dress to queue and just slowly walk there, and you know, exactly. So I think the location is fabulous.
Even though you want to enjoy a night out, okay,
Yeah,
again, it's like walking distance, it's just across the
yeah.
road, and you can actually drink as much as you can without worried that you need to drive and all these things. But
Yeah, we used to meet friends there and worried about after drink, you know,
yeah.
should that person drive or should I take her, you know, take a cab back or take a, you know, grab back, you know. So these no worries, okay. You can walk back, you know. After a drink, you walk back. There's no fine. Isn't that right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think it is a really a good choice with this kind of price, and yet you are so close to the city. I mean, it is considered a city already, okay?
And not to forget that it's also walking distance to Chinatown. Remember the dim
Yeah.
sum?
Yeah. After yesterday talk, you know, not right now you still miss Perth a lot, right?
And I miss the dim sum there, and then I miss the Vietnamese pho. So it's
Yeah.
all within the walking distance.
Yeah. The choice is everything. I mean, for people who thinks that some of the places, shopping center doesn't allow you to buy certain branded, well, you are in the town, you are in the city, you can buy any brand that you want, okay?
Yep.
You can even go to the outlet. So just imagine. So it's so, sorry, I almost say so damn convenient. So I'm sorry. Okay, it is so convenient, really. One of the, I mean, what are the best projects in and I actually, you know, I told you I always prefer Melbourne, but honestly, when I look into Perth, that is so big changes. I mean, you see in the city, it's so big changes. That is a key. It's amazed me, you know. I mean, those many years, I probably won't see all this kind of stuff, you know. I only think that Melbourne will only offer this, but Perth is actually transforming. I have to really say that I do love it. You know? I mean, yes, it is really transforming. Of course, evidently those many years, they say because of the mineral is so good. I mean, the state doesn't bother to think about tourists, you know, tourism, or doesn't even have to explore about this. But they are doing something right now. It is so big different. You know? For those people, those audience that haven't been to Perth for the last 10 years, please go and visit. You will see that it is actually a transforming, you know, from a very fat lady become, you know, the
Hourglass.
Coca-Cola. Yes, you know, you can see and you can get what you want there.
Okay, and there's one point that actually I missed out. In fact, WA offer the highest wages in across the Australia, is in fact the second highest, with the average weekly full-time earning is about 1,840 AUD. Yeah, so even higher than Sydney and Melbourne. So Sydney and Melbourne is about 1,007 plus, but this one is about 1,840. So that is actually, again, for those that was looking for jobs, maybe you can consider WA.
Yes. So for those people who missed this episode, please remind your friends to watch again, okay? I hope that today our sharing can benefit to everyone. And if anything or any questions, do PM us or visit our International Sales Facebook page, YouTube, or Instagram.
Yep, and remember to give us lots of love in the stage, love, okay, so that we will actually share more exciting projects in different countries with you all, so that you have a better idea how to invest wisely. And remember to tune in every Friday, 9:30 Malaysia time or GMT plus 8, to listen to different projects, different package, and different investment plans.
Okay, I'm Angela Chen, and yeah, stay safe and take care. We'll see you next Friday, okay?
Yeah. I'm Mandy. Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye. Good night.